Hey everybody.
Hey everybody!
You know what? I'm just gonna admit it. I totally forgot to press start. Luckily, I only did 5 minutes, but I figured to talk about the college football video game that's out right now. It's perfection. Yeah, there's elements that are like but no game is actually perfect. Well, there has been games. No sports game has actually been perfect because there's a lot of elements in it. But because of real sports, is the major sports that I follow aren't starting, I figured I'd do this, and I decided to choose the Hawaii team, and I love that the shaka is their go-to thing, and as you can already tell, the game just looks better. The atmosphere, every team has their individual start of a game. It's not just the same animations that you see, and you actually can't skip it, which is fine to me because that proves that they've put more energy into other things. And you're gonna see a funny thing come up right now. I totally didn't realize you had to put the power on for the kick. And so I kicked it right to like the 40-yard line, and they almost got through. And this is an FCS school. An FCS school doesn't even exist. I absolutely love the gameplay of this game. I have yet to play Be a Pro. I'm going to after I do my podcast. But it is one of the best sports games that I've played in my life. There's some haters. Honestly, there's actually less haters for this game, which proves it's a great game. But some of the haters are like, oh, it's just a reskin of Madden. It's really not, honestly. It's built on the same game engine, so there's similarities about it, but it is not the same game as Madden. The recruiting can distract you for hours. The gameplay of how you play, all of the plays are individual for that team. Half of the majority of the plays that I've done in this game, I would never do in Madden. Half of them, like, you can throw in the tiniest of windows and that guy will catch it. Even the defense, even in my recent games, the defense has actually understood what I was trying to do. One of my favorite things, and I really hope they don't tweak it and mess with it. One of my favorite things is yeah, the cornerbacks have their person that they're supposed to cover, but I've had it a couple times where I've thrown to a double covered guy because I didn't realize he was double covered because the defending cornerback left his guy to go cover the other guy because he realized that's where the ball was going to go. And then it became a double covered and my guy dropped it. And I love that the defense is figuring out that, okay, he's not going to throw it to the guy that I'm covering, so why should I keep covering this guy? So the gameplay just automatically is one of the best. And the recruiting, like I said, you can get lost in it for hours. It's very easy to understand, but very hard to actually get like top recruits. So I chose the Hawaii team. They're a 1-star or 1.5-star team, and I wasn't going to choose a low team like that. But all of the videos that I watched were people choosing a low team like that. And I was like, okay, like I'm that seems like fun. I'm going to then choose a 1-star team and try and build them up. And I now in my second year, I've had a handful of, well, probably not a handful, but maybe like 12 of varying 3-star to 4-star players. And the gem factor with the recruiting, the gem factor is actually more than just a couple players. You can scout, say, a 3-star say quarterback, and if he's a gem, then he'll be a 4-star, and there might not be a lot of teams going after him, and then you can try and sneakingly get him. Or if there's a 4-star bust, he's still gonna be a 3-star player, so he's still gonna be a decent player for your team, but he's not going to be that 4-star guy. But you have to look at the rankings as well. Sometimes there's those guys who have higher rankings, those guys who have lower rankings, but the guy with the higher rankings might be lower than the guy with the lower rankings. So you have to just look at that. The kicking, I think I missed my first one. The kicking, oh no, I did get it. The kicking was actually quite hard because it's not easy. And I'm glad that they put that into the game. I'm glad that they made kicking not easy to do. And the awesome thing is when you're a 1-star team, you're not facing. It's not like it's Madden where, say, you choose one of the weaker teams and you're facing off against everybody. When you're a 1-star team, you're facing off against other 1-star teams. But there is 1 week that they put you up against a top team to see if you can do it. Because in college football, what I'm understanding is you could shut out the entire season and go 14-0, but it won't matter because you're in a weaker division. You're in a weaker league. If you were in a higher league and you went, say, I don't know, 9-4, recruits might be like, oh, I'm actually gonna go to LSU, who was 9-4, rather than this random mountain whatever league that they're in who went 14-0, because the recruits don't really care that you're in a shittier league. They care about the top teams, unless you can give them a fantastic pitch and it's right up their alley, and you just kind of have to find those recruits that kind of slip a little bit. The funny thing about this is, this specific play is, I thought that was an error because nobody was going after the ball, but that was the only error of the game. But I had so much fun playing the first game because it was I absolutely crushed them, and it actually helped me learn how to play. And every single team is going to be different. You could play against LSU, you can play against Alabama, and they're not going to be the same team. They're going to have very different. They're going to have very different. I looked up the controls because I couldn't remember. They're going to have different plays. They're gonna play different. There's some teams who are a run heavy team. There's some teams who like to just lob the ball a lot. There's some teams who only throw on the sides. There's some teams who only do trick plays. It just depends on what team you've chosen and what team you're up against. There's not they've taken away the building your strategy, because it's absolutely different for everybody else. I think I had Ashlock on this play, or I thought he was going to be, and actually I realized I could have thrown to him. But the thing I like about that is, even with a shitty team like this, their defenders were the cornerbacks were actually stuck to their man. There was no gimme touchdowns, and the only reason I got a touchdown there is because in college ball, it's about the big plays, it's about the confusion. If you actually watch that slower, you'll realize that the defender got confused and let his man go. That's why I absolutely love this game. That you can just play the game so differently. You can lose your recruits that you just picked up because your coach prestige drops, or your campus lifestyle drops or goes up. There's recruits at the beginning of the season that may not be interested in you, but then suddenly become interested in you because your values have gone up. You can also upgrade your players individually. Like if you want a player and his stats to go up, then you can upgrade him individually. Though those are the same points that you use to upgrade your coach. And I absolutely love this game. I really thought that was a touchdown. That should have been. But I just absolutely love this game because there's actually variety in it. The gameplay is improved. The AI is improved. Everything is actually improved, But I have said this the first week that last year's Madden came out, and then they fucked with it because everybody was complaining. But this might actually be different because nobody, I don't know, there's like one, like a couple, like a handful of people online complaining about this game, but literally 99% of people, 99.9% of people absolutely falling in love with this game because there is absolutely so much to do. Yep, that was the kick I missed. There's absolutely so much to do. Like I said, I chose a one-star team, and like I said, it is hard to get recruits, but you have to just be not nitpicky, but you have to look at those hidden gems. So my team probably has like 12 new players, and all of them are 3-star, or one to four, mainly three, mainly 2 to 4 star recruits. And I'm happy that it is hard to get recruits, but it's not impossible. Like, it's not like you have to have the same, because in college people become seniors, so you're just gonna eventually lose your team, um, in your whole team in like 8 years basically. And that's why it's a little, that's why it's 50-50 on getting recruits, because there was a 5-star recruit that I was literally number one for like a majority of the season. I'm like, sick, I'm number one for this guy, this will be my first top 5 guy. And then out of nowhere, like LSU or somebody came out and was like, here you go. And I like that that's realistic, because you can put all of your time and energy into this player, and as long as you're top 3 in that player's mind, you'll be considered, but you may not get him. That's the issue. See, in Madden, I would never make that throw. I'd never ever in a million years make that throw. But with the oh yeah, I missed that one too. With the with the recruiting, what I was saying was, you can be on, I don't know why I put the camera on, put the instant replay on that one. With the recruiting, you can think you're gonna get this guy, and then, like I said, out of nowhere, a top team like LSU, it literally just takes one team to dismantle your offer on that guy. But as long as you're in top 3, and as long as you think that you're gonna get this guy, then go after that guy, or just fill your team up with a bunch of 2 to 3-star players. I went from a 76 or a 75 to now an 80 in one season, and I vastly improved all of the positions that I needed to. Now I'm gonna focus on defense, and I just played a team and absolutely clobbered them, and I'm excited to my own gameplay is making me excited to get back into it. I'm going to play the Be a Pro just to try it. I may even play, I guess it's called cut, I guess, like college unlimited team. I may even try that, because when I pre-ordered the game, it gave me cut stuff. But I'm mainly gonna try the Be a Pro, because you can make burner accounts, you can have a girlfriend, you can have like a life outside of just playing the game and then upgrading your player, and like that's it. Like, I like that they actually added stuff into the game. If they've added stuff into Be a Pro, that's more than just the initial gameplay of it, and that's it. I love the different plays too, because like I said before, every team is different, and I change, like you see now, I'm changing plays all the time. But the cool thing is, sometimes they may not hear you. So I ran out of pocket. I think I had, I actually did have a couple guys open that I could have thrown to, but I just absolutely love, I love this game. Like, there's just so many positive things that I can say about the game, and just like that, just the deking of it. Like just the actual gameplay of this game, and these celebrations. There's at least like I think like 25 plus different celebrations in this game, and you can do a different celebration every time. There's celebrations when you get a fumble. There's celebrations when you get an interception. There's celebrations when you get a sack. Like that's why there's so many celebrations, because that's college ball. Like they're excited about every single play, and it makes you excited about every single play. That is the only that tackle right there is the only thing that I've seen that has been similar to Madden. The cornerbacks and the defense are vastly different. Madden's cornerbacks would not leave their guy to go protect the other guy. And as I played on the higher difficulties, the AI even got better at the game. Like pretty much every play that I get played again, like every when I'm defense, I'm like, what a play! Like I absolutely love that the AI isn't just trying to run to the left and not do any fancy footwork. They're like trying to run down the middle and do a bunch of footwork, or when they throw the ball, the AI is actually diving for it. They've vastly improved so much about this game that it makes me want to try different teams, because every single team has different plays. Every single recruit is going to have a different reason why they want to join your team, or a different reason why they want to leave your team. And I absolutely I love everything about this game. As you can see, I am completely crushing them. I think the final score was even further than this. Just because I think maybe it's because I was in the easier league, but they give you an easy team off the bat. Like a play like this, I would never click in Madden. I think I changed some things around, but like a play like that, I would never click, just because there was caps. The thing I like too is if you go back and look at that play, the guy on the right, there is a cap where he runs, but you can actually extend his thing. You can say, I want you to run a cap, but I want you to run 20 more feet, or 30 more feet, or whatever. And just all of the plays are different, and I love that each player, well, I think each or most of them have their own abilities. A lot of them have similar abilities, and that's fine, because a lot of those guys are the depth guys, the guys that you're just kind of picking up just to have actual depth on your team. And the good thing about recruits is you're not guaranteed to get every single person that you are interested in. So it is always important to have too many of one position have too many recruits in one position, because at the end you can change their position. Well, you can actually see if you can. There is certain players that don't want their position to be changed. That was funny that I matched up with the guy in the green, but I'm just absolutely loving everything about this game. The recruiting is there's honestly, the recruiting is probably the best part, and that's definitely a 10 out of 10. Yeah, there's some issues with gameplay, but honestly, it's little things, because the majority of the time I'm mad at the other team because of how good their play was. It's like, oh, I would not have even thought of that. Like, what a play! Like, what a way to get the ball to your defender's hand, or your receiver's hand. I can't talk any higher of this game. I'm extremely happy that it's finally here, and this is my first college football game, and I'm having an absolute blast with it. Just with all of the plays, the speed of the game is actually faster, so that you're not standing in the pocket for 20 years hoping for a receiver to get open. You're not. And then on the opposite side of that, your receivers aren't getting super slow off the ball. And even if they are slow off the ball, they are still getting to their route perfectly. Like, they're still having time to do that. I think I ran that back for a touchdown. Oh no, my own player got in the way. But like I said, I'm having an absolute blast. I was gonna get off just because I just didn't want to make this a long podcast, but I am actually just gonna skip right. Oh, never mind. This was actually I can show you some recruiting if I click to the right part. I think I just simmed the rest of this. Yeah, I simmed the rest of the game because it was 72-0. Just because I was on the easiest difficulty because I wasn't actually sure how easy or hard it was going to be. But look at every team has a different outro. Like that's the thing I love about this game. I'm actually glad that I have some. So this is the screen of recruiting. Like as you can see, everybody's different. You can organize it by guys that aren't fully scouted that you've looked at, and you only technically get 35 people. You only get 35 whatever it's called. So this is actually a good screen to show. This shows you what guys are interested and what guys have totally just X'd you out. So for all of these players, I wasn't in the top 8, and they've already reached that top 8, so I didn't even have a chance to even talk with them. But with this quarterback, I think it was a quarterback, Nathan Wimbley, I thought I was gonna get this guy, and then LSU came out of nowhere, but I was in his top 5 this whole time. I think I was in his top 3, and he decided to go with another team. So just because you're a one-star school doesn't mean you're not going to get the guy. And then this is just you're leveling up. Holy. So this actually shows you, for some reason it only just shows you brand exposure in this specific screen, but this shows you what players are at risk of leaving your team, because their a deal breaker is they want a high brand exposure. Every player is different. There's, I think, like 10 or 15 different things like playing time and brand exposure and school smartness and everything. I can't think of the word, but yeah, I'll see if I can get to yeah. That's kind of a typical thing, but I'll see if I can get to, yeah, okay, perfect. So with this Gizzle guy, I was in his top 3. If I do go down, maybe just one more. Yeah, I removed that. Oh, shit. Wow. So actually, a good example. I played against UCLA. I was a 76 overall team. UCLA is an 86 overall team. I got absolutely crushed by them. But that's the one game that your division gives you against a top team, because it helps for recruits. Because when you send an offer to a recruit, you can then do a visit, and you can have it be against a top team. And if you beat that top team, then it's a huge payoff. But if you lose against that top team, it's a huge downgrade, and that player might not be interested to play for you. I don't know why this is not playing. Oh, there. So you just have to look at all of the recruits. You have to look at the differences about them. So at the top of the screen, you only have 35 scholarships. Though, if you delete somebody on this side of the screen, because you only have 35 targets, if you delete somebody on this side of the screen, you only have 35 spots. But, sorry, if you I was thinking of two thoughts at the same time. If you delete somebody on this side of the screen, you actually get that scholarship back because it shows to them that you're not interested. So that's why what I typically do is I look at one position at a time, maybe if there's a 4-star or whatever, but I look at one position at a time, and then I go through those guys, and I'll see if it shows, and I'll see, so I'm a 1-star school, I'm a 1.5-star school at this time. If I'm up against Georgia and Clemson and Carolina, I'm taking this player off my board because I know I'm not going to get him. Though I didn't know that at the time because of that one player. But if I saw this before, if I saw this next time on another player, I'd take him off my list. If there's a guy that I'm like really interested in, then I'll throw the house at him. If but most of the time I'll send an offer out, see where I am on his board, and if I do like some of his scouting, or if I do like some of his stats, then I'll probably throw the house at him. And there is different ways that you can scout somebody. You can throw the whole house at them, and that's literally what it says. Yeah, so I took that guy off my board. That guy, maybe I took off my board. Yeah. So, like I said, I thought I was going to get this guy just because the top team was only a silver. But I think maybe Oregon came in and offered a better contract, and that's how they got him. But I just absolutely love the recruiting of this game. But yeah, never mind. I like that. So perfect. So you have 50 hours. That's the minimum for all players that you scout. I've 100% scouted him, but I was at my 50 hours. Some players you can have an additional 15. So at that point, you can then DM the player or search the social media. Basically, how all of these are, I still don't really understand soft pitch and hard pitch, but what I'm understanding with it, playing the game obviously, soft pitch is like a low risk, low reward. Like it's kind of like a, hey, we're interested, but we're not that interested. Hard sell is like, we're really interested, but if we don't know your dream pitch, then it's going to fuck us over. But I like that this is laid out in a very easy way to understand. Search social media is like, hey, we're a little bit interested in you. And then send the house is like, we're really interested in you. Here's our best offer. And obviously I didn't get this guy because on the right here, I offered him a coach prestige when I sent him a visit. But there was probably a lot of teams who had an A+ or even an A, and that beats me. So it's not always going to be about the best offer. It's probably going to be the offer that fits that specific player. So that's what you have to watch out for. You can't just, if you're a bad team, you can't just tell everybody, here's A+ for playing time, because yeah, for me it's A+, for him, but maybe he doesn't care about playing time. Maybe he doesn't care. Even though he's a 5-star recruit, maybe he just doesn't care about playing time. Like, every player is actually different in this game. And I absolutely love that you can, so I guess the pitches will be available when you're in top 5, and you will be told about that. You don't have to wait until top 5, but I really thought I was going to get this guy. I thought I was going to get both of these guys. But I won't make this too long. But I gotta say, if you haven't bought this game, I would highly suggest buying it. It is the best, and I'm so happy that college football is back. But that's all I gotta say today. Remember, you're awesome. Stay awesome.